Hey everybody, this is Garage here. Today we're going to be making a quick video on how to refinish the panel switches inside 350Zs. So as you can see, as these get worn out more and more, this coating that they put on it from factory comes off really fast. So first step is going to be get this one out, get the passenger side one out, remove the buttons from it, get it off there. We're going to sand it down, primer it, and then paint it. I'm just going to be painting it gloss black with a clear coat on it. So here I just got some sandpaper and some paints. So I'm gonna get the tools ready to get the window switches out, and I'll show you how to do that real quick. All right, so first for the driver's side, what I did was took 2 screwdrivers. You're going to use 2 hands on this unless you have a panel removal tool because it has a bigger surface area. Take 2 screwdrivers, pop up the back, hold one in the back, use the other one to go along the rim. Once you get everything popped up, you can lift on it from the back. As you can see in the back, there's no wires or anything you can cut, it's just a clip. And then up here in the front, it's these 2 wires you can separate. Best way to separate these is to stick a flathead screwdriver in here to pull the pin down and then pull at the same time. So I'm gonna get both of these taken out, and then we're gonna look at how to remove all the switches and buttons from this panel. All right, now we're gonna get started on the passenger side. The passenger side uses a 10mm socket hidden behind the door panel. So I'm just gonna get this ready with the socket wrench and throw a little bit of an extension on there, because the first step is going to be removing the door panel. Like I said earlier, it's definitely best to have a pry tool, but I mean, use what you got. Now that we're on the passenger side, we need to get underneath this part of the passenger side door handle. Pry it open. We're going to try to use the 2 screwdriver method, pop it up from the bottom, and then try to get the rest of the panel off. Once you get the panel off, there's going to be a 10mm screw here, one up here. Then you can remove that. And then it's the same process to get this one out. So you just pick up from the back, slide the screwdriver all the way over, get it up, and then use pliers or the screwdriver to get the connectors off. So we'll go from there. If I have any issues, I'll show you guys. All right, as you can see, I got this one out. This one took a lot longer than the driver's side. First step, obviously, is to get this silver piece off right here. And the next is the door handle. There's one bolt up there, one bolt down here. My problem is the bolt got stuck in the back, so if you have a little magnet tool, stick the magnet in there, drag the bolt out, and then these 2 pieces can come off almost together. So after you get the 2 bolts out, you can start prying this one from the back, use the sides, and it pops up and it comes right out. So now we're going to get to sanding. We're going to go 80, 120, 220, and then primer, and then gloss black, and then I have clear coat. So we're going to get started on that process right now. Alright, so we're going to start with the driver's side first. Basically just going to go over and sand the entire thing. We're not going to be too pressed about the bottom because it's not going to be visible. We're going to start with 80 grit, go all the way up to 220 grit, just sanding everything, making it completely smooth, and trying to get all this flakiness off of it. So I'll be back in a second. All right, so after a couple minutes of sanding, this is what it looks like. Got it real smooth. Now we're just gonna wash it and throw the first coat of primer on. So first coat of primer on, we're gonna do 3 coats of primer, and then 3 coats of black, 2 coats of clear. I'm thinking everything planned out together. Maybe it'll do less if the black goes on really nice and doesn't show through with any of the previous marring and previous wear. But now we're gonna get started on sanding this guy. All right, hey guys, after a couple days finishing up the painting, the weather was super cold outside, so it was really hard to get the coats all done in one day. But we ended up doing 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of the color, and then 2 coats of clear. And these are the new window pieces. The trim, which they look amazing compared to what they did look like. There's a little bit of texture to them right now just because the weather got so cold that I didn't dry in between coats with the amount of time I gave them, but it'll be okay. We also have some carbon fiber overlays if the texture is just unbearable inside the car, but first we're gonna get them in the car and then we're gonna see how it feels. All right, right before we put these back in, we're obviously clipping in all the control modules. The way the 350 works is there's not actually screws on these. It's actually just little clips, as you can see right there. The way I got these off is just take a little flathead screwdriver, pry one off, and then you're able to weasel it out the side you opened up. So you just shove these back in, one there, and then the other one only has one. And then we're gonna get them plugged up, and then they should just snap back onto the doors over here. So there's 2 plugs, and then all these snap points, we'll get them in there. All right, now you got this in, you just set it in there, you tap it on each one of the snaps, and then it fits in perfectly. And as you can tell, it looks way better than it did beforehand. So now on this side, it's gonna be a little bit trickier just because there's this handle that you gotta screw in and put together. But really, you just snap this in here, connect it to the wire, get this piece lined up, put them in at both at the same time, and then you get the 2 screws put in there. All right, so we got both sides in, that one and that one over there, and they look a hell of a lot better than these 2. I definitely recommend doing this for anyone who has the weird paint peel thing that the 50Cs like to do. If you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you should do next.